produce something as a cameraman for the movie magazines at the time. I said, gee, I'm doing a layout, a movie star layout. And I said, why don't you come along with me and kind of get in the background. And when you see me, when I see that my camera is up, kind of sidle over and get in behind whatever star happens to be there, like it was Debbie Reynolds' layout. And he was very cutely and sheepishly, and just the way he said it just flipped me. He said, gee, Frank, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it, but I don't think that, thanks anyway. I don't think I'll do it. No, thanks. Well, I was invited to East of Eden. I didn't know anything about it. I couldn't even remember the name of it, and I was a little late getting there. I missed all the credits on the East of Eden. I was down in front. Picture starts right after Kazan's credit. I saw just the director credit. And here comes Jimmy Dean. I said, oh my God, I said to myself, I said, great, he got himself a bit part. Well, 5 minutes later, I suddenly realized that he was the star. And I said, oh, I was so mad, I couldn't get over it. The minute the picture finished, I ran to a phone. I called him up and said, you dirty, rotten fink. How could you do this to me? You're a star.
You let me talk to you? Please. I gotta talk to you.
Joe! Joe! Get out of here. Joe! Tex! Polisher! Get him out! No! Polisher! Get him out of here! Get him out of here! I want to talk to him! I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Talk to me. Talk to me, please. Mother.
It was a role that was created for Jimmy practically. They had probably no intention, but this was James Dean. The story embodied his relationship with his father. It utilized his isolation from the rest of the world, the perversity of his perspective, his humor, his need for love. It was as though you rewrote his biography. Same person, slightly different story.
I thought he was absolutely mesmerizing. I thought his performance was so beautiful and had such variety to it.
That was my boy up there. I could just reach up and touch him. It was Jim Dean that I knew, the kid. Beautifully done.
As moviegoers line up in droves in a nightly ritual to see Hollywood's newest star, Jimmy has his own ritual. Unknown to his fans, Jimmy drives past the theater gaping in amazement at the waiting lines. This is the only time that Jimmy gets to witness his success. He will not live long enough to see his other two pictures released. Celebrating his new fame, Jimmy decides to have a sculpture of himself done by artist Kenneth Kendall.
I knew who he was. I hadn't seen him perform. He needed a shave, looked a little kind of grubby. He had come to look at the sculpture of Marlon Brando, which he had already seen in New York, and he had decided that he was going to contact me. He asked me, he said, in his very best little boy manner, very hesitant, would you be interested in sculpting me? Which came as a great surprise to me, and I honestly was thinking I had just finished one of Marlon Brando. I had one going of Steve Reeves, who had been a spectacular Mr. America, and I was thinking to myself, honestly, I thought, do you really think you're in this world class of people that I've been doing? But I was flattered by the request, and I answered that I would. 2 weeks after his visit, I went over to Hollywood to a matinee to see East of Eden, and I practically fell out of the seat. I thought, good Lord, I know this guy. He knows me. He wants something from me. I just couldn't get over it.
He's not watching us.
I feel as if he can still see us.
While many critics are calling Jimmy a great new star, others accuse him of imitating Marlon Brando.
James Dean was said to be another Marlon Brando, which isn't true at all. Marlon is heavy as lead compared to Jimmy. Jimmy's mercurial and light and dancing all over the place. That's not Marlon Brando at all. But it was just that we had two good actors. We lost two actors in the crash at Cholame, James Dean and Marlon Brando. Because if James Dean had been alive, Marlon couldn't have let Jimmy walk the town away from him. We would have seen a lot more out of Brando than we have, but I think he sort of relaxed in his position.
I have never done anything right. I've been going around with my head in a sling for years.
For teenagers, the movie that immortalizes Jimmy is his second film, Rebel Without a Cause, which co-stars Natalie Wood and Sal Mineo.
I think that you can't just go around proving things and pretending like you're tough.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't, even though you you look a certain way, you can't.
That's right. You're absolutely.
You're
absolutely right.
You're not listening to me.
Jimmy plays the role of Jim Stark, a troubled teenager from a good family. His father is played by Jim Backus and his mother by Anne Duran. This is the first time that an actor portrays a teenager to whom teenagers themselves can relate. Before James Dean, teenagers were represented on the screen in movies like Andy Hardy Gets Spring Fever. Mickey Rooney starred in a series of 15 of these films, sentimental comedies that exalted family life. Mickey played Andy Hardy, the perfect son, to Judge Hardy, the perfect father. A far cry from the relationship between father and son in Rebel.
Stand up!
You kill him! You want to kill your own father!
The director of Rebel Without a Cause is Nicholas Ray, a socially conscious man whose heroes are frequently social rebels. It is easy for this director to like James Dean. Nicholas Ray gives Jimmy tremendous creative freedom, allowing him to improvise his lines and to develop his character as he sees fit. Ray also encourages Jimmy to help shape the movie itself.